Kendo Podcast by Hiro Mafuji from Kendo-Guide.com. Thank you for listening. This podcast is about Japanese martial arts Kendo for Kendo lovers and supported by Kendo enthusiasts through Patreon.com. Thank you for your support, guys. Please visit Kendo-Guide.com for more Kendo information and how to support Kendo-Guide.com. Kendo Podcast, episode 17. In this episode, I would like to talk about Tsuki. There was a question at Kendo-Guide.com, and the question is about when should Kendo practitioners start practicing Kendo? Not Kendo, Tsuki. And, some people say when you become third dan, you should start practicing Tsuki, or maybe age, for example. And he wanted to ask my opinion as well, and I wanted to talk about it. Of course, I answered the question. So if you go to Kendo-Guide.com and search Tsuki or something, it should pop up. I will make sure that paste URL link to the article, so please check it out too. Alright, and my opinion about Tsuki. Tsuki is very dangerous. There's no doubt about it. If you miss it, we call the protection over Tsuki dare. If you miss Tsuki dare, there is another protection, very thin protection, bigger than Tsuki dare. And then most often it goes through Tsuki dare and all the protection, and then directly you thrust on throat, and it is dangerous. You can imagine that. And if you miss, if your shinai slides on the neck, you probably see a lot of people have a red line on their neck. Now, if you know Kendo is dangerous, and if you know that happens in Kendo, then probably you can take it. But a lot of people, especially beginners, and also who never got like a physical injuries like that, they'll be in shock. A lot of people at my my students get Tsuki, not by me. I don't usually execute Tsuki on lower grade holders than me. I always execute Tsuki those who are ready. So, for example, if my student is ikkyu or nikyu, and I will never execute Tsuki. Even shodan nidan, if they're not ready, I don't do it. So what I mean by ready, can they take Tsuki or not? Do they know how to receive Tsuki? Are they still afraid of Tsuki? Or if I Tsuki them, probably I'll just give them fear. It is true that you have to overcome the fear, but are they ready for that? Are they even ready to overcome fear? So, it's not, intentionally give them fear, it's fine, but you have to also know that might stop them from going forward. If they stop going forward, they won't improve their Kendo. If they don't improve their Kendo, just feeling fear, they will go. They will leave the dojo. They will leave the club. We will lose people. And it's really, maybe you can say, oh, if they don't want to overcome fear, why are they at the dojo? Very true as well. I always tell my students, you have to overcome fear. You have to face yourself, face to yourself, and then overcome fear one day. But again, it's about, are they ready for that? Are they up to it? Because I live in US and I don't have many people like with high grades. So I'm the one of the highest, and we have seventh dan sensei near our dojo, and he sometimes kindly come and train with us. And then we have fourth dan, fifth dan. But those people, my students, the students, don't really see people skiing other people, you know. So environment itself, you don't see many tsuki going. In that case, they don't expect others tsuki them, right? And I wrote an article about this person with shodan, and she started skiing beginners because her reasoning was these people were running into my sword, my shinai. I told her not to do it. Instead of waiting for them to get into her shinai, I told her, do something, strike them. Don't let them run into your shinai. She didn't listen. Why she didn't listen, or she couldn't do what I said? She wasn't able to control her shinai. So once it is important for you to control your shinai however you want. So if you see your opponent running into your sword, you should be able to judge, is it going to be dangerous or is it just fine? Okay, first you should be able to judge, distinguish the situation, and then if it's dangerous, you should be able to pull out your sword right away. Lot of sensei can do that because they can control. Of course, they can intentionally tsuki you hard. You know what I mean? And then they can intentionally tsuki you soft. They can intentionally pull out their sword so you won't get hurt. You should be able to do that if you want to execute tsuki. Okay? And because she started doing it because a sensei started tsukiing her. And I had to stop him executing tsuki on her because she complained about that to other sensei, the owner of the dojo. And the owner told me to ask this sensei to stop tsuki. And then she starts tsukiing other people. So this behavior just created violence. She just turned that behavior into violence. So she didn't stop it. Intentionally or not, maybe she didn't have ability to do it, but her reasoning was beginners were running into her sword. So tsuki, it's easy. You just keep your shinai right in front of you, and then people ran into tsuki. You don't have to run into your shinai. You don't have to do anything, right? So it's easy to do. And you have just reason. Oh, they're just running into my sword. That will stop your improvement. You have to know that too. if you start doing mukaezuki, which is exactly what she was doing, she was just standing there, okay, and people running into tsuki, okay, not really mukaezuki because she didn't really know how to execute tsuki, but that tsuki, if you start doing that, what happens is you stop learning, you stop moving your shinai, and which looks good, but on the other hand, you're just standing there, not learning anything. So you just feel superior because you don't have to do anything, but they are just coming up like shinai, So that behavior and attitude should be fixed right away, and you start learning. And your job as a senior student is train other people so they can improve, not because and then they can say, oh, you have to come in, you have to overcome fear. Okay, this girl didn't know how to overcome her fear. She telling on this guy because he scared her a lot of times, but she couldn't face through the fear, but she started doing that to other people lower than her, and I thought, no, this is messed up. So it's very important for you. The reason for tsuki, okay, it's a target, so you're more than welcome to do so, but the reason we don't teach tsuki right away is that because of that. You need to know how to tsuki. You need to know how to receive tsuki. And you need to know how to control your shinai so you won't, if you miss it, I saw a lot of people, hit their head on the ground because they didn't know how to receive it. When you receive tsuki, you don't want to have your face away from the shinai. If you do that, you are letting your opponent's sword come in more into your throat. That means they will push you back even harder. So you tend to fall down. So if you get tsuki, you have to go in, which looks like stupid, but you have to protect yourself, right? So you don't want to have your face away from tsuki. If you have your face away from shinai, that will move your body backwards. If your body lean backwards, you tend to fall down. So you have to know that. And if you execute tsuki, you should be able to control very well the shinai. Please know that you have to be able to control. You have to be able to pull out your sword whenever you have to. Practice little by little. Okay, you can start tsuki something else at home or something. So you have good aim. Just make a dot like what do you call it? A target. You make a target and just start throwing tsuki on that, so you can have better aim, for example. And also, you should be able to tell your shinai or your opponent's shinai don't have splinters on it. A lot of people can't tell that. And can you tell if your shinai is crooked? Like start turning, during training, a lot of people people's shinai start turning, and then their tsuru, string, is facing sideways. People don't realize that. Why they don't realize that? It's their shinai. It's because easy. They are so carried away, just focused on training, not focusing on their sword. They don't pay attention to the little details. But if you can't pay attention to your shinai like that, if you don't know your shinai is rolling, you can't realize if your shinai has splinters or not. My students always get surprised when I tell you have splinter on your shinai. Even I was looking very far away, and they're looking, and I can see something going on, something weird going on, and I get stopped, and I check their shinai. They have splinters on it. Of course, you have experience, but if you don't have that experience, and then you can't tell if your shinai has splinters on it, and then you execute Tsuki, the splinter will go into your opponent's neck. I have splinter. I got splinter on my forearm, really deep, about 2 centimeter in or 3 centimeter, about an inch in. That was scary, actually. And I saw my student's chest. There was a splinter in his chest, and he didn't realize that, like, for about 2 days, and he still had some something, some itchy going on his chest. So he checked on his chest. So it started getting really red and infected. So he got the tweezer and then pulled that off. That was a splinter from Tsuki. That is not good. If you can't see the splinter on your shinai, you shouldn't be doing that. So this is very, very sensitive issue, and of course, Tsuki is allowed to do that, to execute, because it's a target. But if you think about the safety of your training partners and opponent, if you don't have ability to control your shinai and ability to point out, spot splinters right away, you shouldn't be doing that. You should be more responsible, and of course, you need a good instructor to supervise you guys, so nothing serious happens. Okay, so this is my opinion, and Netsuki makes people emotional. Like, they get angry really quickly because it's, Tsuki is, if you miss it, directly goes into your throat. That's a threat. So they get very angry. Really, you have to be ready for, you have to know that you might make them angry. And also, you have to tell if your training partners are ready to take it. Okay, gradually, you have to train your training partners and junior students. But again, you have to make sure they are ready for that. Okay? Thank you for listening, and please come to Kendo-Guide.com. And I try to, I have monthly newsletter. At least once a month, you will get update from Kendo-Guide.com, and I have been including podcasts there as well. So think it, and YouTube as well. So you can all get notified once a month the new stuff. So that way you don't have to go to Kendo-Guide.com or podcast and YouTube. You don't have to go everywhere, but if you subscribe this newsletter, you will get notified once a month. And also sometimes I will write an article about Kendo, so you receive probably at least once a month or twice a month. Okay, thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.